So after my last Against the Storm video, there was an update that had a bug in it that essentially made the game really easy. And I played for it a bit not knowing this was a bug and got a lot of free progression, which led me to feel like the rewards we were getting weren't really earned. So we wiped the map again. Like you can see, we're back at the tutorial. And to make things interesting, we're going to speedrun into a Forbidden Glade on one of these Marshland tiles. And inside that Forbidden Glade is going to be a giant resource node, which could give us a nice boost. Also, this biome gathering speed is increased. And as for our random effect, we get double reputation from resolve. So if we can find a way to keep people happy during the drizzle season, we could win really fast. As for the negative hostile effects, since we're playing on Viceroy, which is the hardest difficulty we have access to right now, starting at hostility 2, fuel efficiency is 25% lower, scaling with hostility. So hostility 3, I'm guessing, is 50, hostility 4, it's 75, etc. Next, we don't want to turn in quests during the storm because we won't lower impatience for doing so. Starting at hostility 5, during the storm, we get minus 20 to global resolve, which is pretty brutal. But then this one's even worse. Villagers have a 5% chance of perishing every 15 seconds unless we give them access to services. Also, before we start the game, really quickly, I want to zoom out and then I want to take a screenshot. And I'm going to compare the screenshot to one I'm going to take at the very end of the run. And if the tree shape does change, then you'll know I did a save load somewhere in the run. And the problem with doing save loads is I could copy my save file, then I could look into these glades and then I could see what's in them. And it would just make the run very illegitimate. And since I'm doing kind of a challenge where we're speedrunning to a Forbidden Glade, this one way up here, which is quite far away. Get to shop into this glade, and then we could actually get to this Forbidden Glade. It just seems really far away. I did a few runs of this, and there's one over here to the west, which is pretty far as well. It's through one glade, which I guess is the best we'll be able to do. There should be one more Forbidden Glade on the map, which is way over here. That's further, I think. Or maybe not. I'm really not sure which one we want to go through. I'm guessing this one to the north, since our warehouse is up here to the north. If we set up 4 woodcutter camps up here and we just chop straight into this dangerous glade. And the idea is once people are done chopping the trees, they'll deliver the wood back to the woodcutter camp, and then they'll deliver that back to the main warehouse. And the main thing is it's pretty close. As we begin to chop more trees, we'll move the woodcutter camps so that people have a direct path to get back to the warehouse. Also, we'll unlock our first cornerstone, both of which benefit us every time a villager dies or leaves. I think 10 amber is worth more than 30 meat, so we'll take that one. Although it would have been funny with our blueprint to turn that meat into jerky at the smokehouse. I'm thinking the kiln's gonna be a better starting building though, because we can make bricks more efficiently. It's only 4 stone or clay to 2 bricks versus 6 at our makeshift posts, I believe. And we can also make coal to clear out glade events. A lot of time you can use coal for those. For the next blueprint, we'll hold off on choosing it because the trapper camp and the forager camp both can harvest from the giant resource nodes in the Forbidden Glades, but we don't know which nodes can be in the Forbidden Glade, so we'll just have to wait to find out. Some quests unlock, and if we can give lizards a mainly complex food like jerky, we could do this quest on the right, although this quest on the left seems like a better reward. We have to complete 2 glade events, which is kind of hard to do at the start. We're about to open up a Forbidden Glade, but I don't even know if we can complete the event. We'll still try though, and I like this reward better because it's 6 tools, which we could need for the Forbidden Glade. Next, we can get 6 more tools if we just make a trading post and get 10 amber. We'll definitely take that. And then finally, if we do complete both the dangerous and Forbidden Glade events, we complete this quest, which gives us +1 in copper ore production, and right now we can't make a mine. That unlocks at like level 2 or 3, so it's not really going to help us too much, but I want to get the quest done early so we can unlock more building blueprints. We'll be able to do this one pretty early, and I don't know if we're ever going to be able to keep humans that happy, so we'll go for the quest on the left. Part of me wants to take someone off woodcutting to start building the roads and the trading post, but I don't think it matters when you build a trading post as long as you build it before the first trader gets here. And crap, I made a huge mistake already by allowing coal to be used as fuel at our hearth, and we already used 2. Thankfully, we do have the kiln building to kind of correct that mistake, although we don't have bricks for the kiln. Essentially what this means is if the glade event does require coal to clear out, we're not going to have enough, which is just so stupid and avoidable unless we can find some material to make bricks from in here, or we could call the first trader in ASAP, which that actually is probably a better play. We'll focus on building up the trading post right now. We did actually chop into this glade, and it does require 20 coal. Are you kidding me? I cannot believe I actually just messed that up. There's some coal deposits in here if we had the mine blueprint, but we don't. And yeah, there was no stone nodes to harvest, so the only option at this point is to call in the trader early, which isn't really that big of a deal. It's just we could have already started clearing out the glade event right now with our starting coal. Like, ugh, that's such a fail. The trader's gonna be here in 8 minutes, but yeah, we'll call her immediately for the cost of a little bit of Queen's Impatience. And while we're waiting for that trader to get here, in this dangerous glade, there was a herbalist camp, which is an upgraded version of the small herbalist camp, and this could harvest from the giant resource nodes, plus it can harvest these mushroom nodes, I believe. Yeah, harvest mushrooms. We can rebuild this for only 6 wood, so we'll do that. We can salvage it for some materials as well, but nah, we definitely want the camp. Our first trader shows up, and the first thing we need to do is get 10 amber from her so we can turn in this trading post quest. And her 10 amber is actually going to cost us $12.50 because traders just rip you off for whatever reason. We'll have to give her over 2 wildfire essence. We're going to get 1 from a quest, so it's not that big of a deal. 1 part and then a couple wood. And that's going to allow us to turn this trading post quest, which these parts will give us back more amber than we just spent. Plus the girl also has bricks that we can use to build a kiln, so it looks like things are actually going to be fine. Question is, do we want to buy this Trapper's Camp blueprint from her? Buying her amber plus the bricks would cost us 26 amber almost, and we have to sell like most of our parts. And so with a bit of a gamble, we're actually going to sell most of our food in only 1 part. We're actually going to buy 6 bricks and 2 fabrics. And I'll show you guys why in a second. First, we're going to buy the Trapper Camp. And then on our blueprint page, that one disappears. We'll now choose the Forger Camp. And the next building almost certainly should be the lumber mill because we can make planks from 3 wood instead of 8. You make them twice as fast here. And beavers have a 10% chance to double their yield here as well. Finally, we have a disaster blueprint. We don't want any of these because we're not going to be farming. Because the biome only gives you increased gathering speed. The more gatherers you have, not increased farming speed. We'll also buy 2 more bricks and 1 fabric to help us build a lumber mill quicker for the rest of our food though. So now we're completely out of food. And so we now have our work cut out for us. We bought enough materials to be able to build a kiln right now, which we need to build before this event gets down to around 4 minutes 30 seconds ish, I want to say. Because with 2 people on it, this timer will go down to 4 minutes. And it takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds to deliver the goods over. We're building a warehouse right next to the thing, so they'll be able to grab the goods from this warehouse. And this warehouse was what costed us 2 more bricks and fabrics. It was important we build this thing over here though, because we're going to build a Trapper's Camp right here to harvest these eggs really quickly. And when they're done, they'll deliver the eggs to the warehouse. Plus, we're going to move this herbalist camp over, which let's just put more people on this. We're going to move the herbalist camp over these large mushrooms, and we're going to start harvesting those as well. And meanwhile, to the southeast, we are almost done with the kiln. We should start producing coal once that's done. And we also need to make houses for the storm just to improve people's moods a little bit. And also, pro tip, build 4 comfort objects so you upgrade the hearth, and that will give +2 to resolve. And I always forget to do that before the first storm, but this time I will be better. And yeah, I think we'll just put 2 lizards on the kiln for now. We only actually need 2 more coal, so let's just put 1 lizard on the kiln for now, and the rest of the lizards will be building houses and these comfort objects, and hopefully they'll finish them before the storm hits. We don't have a lot of time with this totem of denial, so we'll start delivering the coal now. And the question is, we want a, I think, +3 global resolve bonus, or do we want a pretty significant boost with 3 ancient tablets, which would be 24 amber from a trader, 35 pottery, which we could also sell, and 40 incense could be used at the Forbidden Glade. Since we're doing the speedrun thing, I think we're going to salvage it, and we'll hopefully get that done in time. Hopefully this lizard down here will finish the coal. When he's done, force delivery of the goods, and then now he's going to bring the coal back over to the warehouse. And when he's done with that, which I guess he's done, it says we have 3 coal left over, so I'm thinking they already delivered the goods over here to the Totem of Denial, and yeah, they did. So yeah, we will beat the timer on that, which is great. And meanwhile down here, we didn't build anyone houses, but it's not going to matter. No one's mood is bad enough to warrant anyone leaving, mainly because we started with biscuits for our beavers, and our humans are eating them as well, so they're all happy. And then we just give the lizards lighter treatment, and they're all good to go. After surviving the first storm, we get to choose a cornerstone. Family gratitude could be really good because we do that bonus that gives us more reputation through high resolve, but I do also think protected trade is really good to get at the start of the game. There's no guarantee we're not going to get super rich on this run. We might be able to lower the forest hostility by a ton through this, so we'll pick that. 2 new quests unlock, and we're about to get the ancient tablets for this quest, ancient artifacts, but there's no need right now for us to make packs of goods, so this perk isn't that great. I think I'd rather have +3 to lizards resolve because we have so many lizards, and that will help us through a resolve victory. An 8-pack provisions is a lot cheaper than 2 ancient tablets, so we'll take that quest on the left. For this next quest, we can make jerky at our kiln, and we get +2 to jerky production. I think that's better than this quest on the left, which costs a ton of building materials, and we have no way to make bricks or fabric that well right now. We completed the Totem of Denial Glade event, plus I guess another one from I don't know what. I wonder if rebuilding that herbalist camp counted. I don't know, either way we get 6 more tools, bringing our total up to 12, and we may be able to use those in the Forbidden Glade, and we're about to find out. We got a giant proto-fungus in here, which does require an herbalist camp, and we did find an herbalist camp in this dangerous glade. We unfortunately can't make more though. It's an unlimited mushroom source that has a pretty good chance to harvest this other stuff. As for the glade event itself, it's going to spawn living matter, which will eat up all of our food, but we don't have that much food right now, so that one's very easy. We get 3 more ancient tablets, 20 planks, and 20 wine, which will give us a nice boost with the next trader. We do have the ability to mass produce planks though at the lumber mill, so I'm thinking we send the goods to the Citadel, so we'll get 20 of the 24 amber from that, and then we don't really need the wine or the planks. And immediately after working that, it spawned 2 pieces of living matter, which will eat through all of our food, but we get some stuff back. And this one over here increases meat production by 1. We have the upgraded Trapper's Camp that can harvest meat at the snake nest. There's only a 20% chance of harvesting it here, but if we do find larger meat nodes, that could be really useful. And then also in the ruins, there's another kiln, which we don't really need 2 kilns. We'll just salvage it for all these materials. While we're working this, we'll also go down here and grab the herbalist camp, bring it closer to the giant mushroom, and we'll start getting these random materials plus mushrooms from the giant protofungus. The next trader gets here, and he's going to be here for 1 minute 6 seconds, which should hopefully be enough time to grab grab all this amber from the destroyed cage of the war beast. We can use that to trade with him. You'll also note the trader came at kind of a weird time. Usually they'll come after the storm, but since we called in the trader early, then the timer got all whacked up. And I did not mean to open up this glade, by the way, right when the storm starts. That's kind of an oopsie. Well, I guess it could have been good to open it up when the trader is here, because we would know if we needed to buy anything from him. It looks like we can use coal though, so we're completely fine on that. And we can convert it to this building that gives us +2 to global resolve, which we probably should do. We don't really need the tablets or the mushrooms. And then in here, there's also a brick oven that makes pies really efficiently. I've never seen a 3-star pie building before. It only takes 6 flour and 3 of these materials. The trader is going to be here for another 31 seconds, and I want to see if we can get all this amber back in time. Hopefully they won't go rest. And they'll actually grab. Yeah, he's gonna go rest. Just take this guy off it and then reassign him. They'll still go rest. Let's take one of these guys off the herbalist camp. Put them on here. Hopefully they'll come over here and grab the amber. I think they will, although the guy's gonna leave soon, so I don't think we'll have time. Yeah, he's gonna leave in 4 seconds, so only we're able to grab 5 of the amber. First with this guy, I actually think we want to buy the small farm blueprint, because that's gonna re-randomize one of our blueprints that we have to choose from right now, because right now it's just from 3 farms. If we sell him 2 ancient tablets, we can buy 12 of his amber plus 3 flour. We'll now see if it was worth to re-randomize one of our blueprints here. And it actually looks like it was worth, because we got the provisioner that we can make flour from, which we need for pies and biscuits. Although the next building is a rain mill, which makes flour even better. And we don't really care about the brewery or the clothier right now, so I think we're just going to take that. And what's nice about the rain mill is not only can you make flour more efficiently, humans have a 10% chance to double their yield here, so we'll end up being a lot more flour. And then for our final building, we could go for the bakery so we can make biscuits, or we could buy this upgrade that allows us to make biscuits at the kiln and the rain mill, and I think humans will have a 10% chance to double their yield of that as well. If we give up all of our food in 3 parts, that'll be enough. We could have also given up our tools, but I think we should hold on to these for later. Right after the storm, we'll turn in TikTok. Almost turned it in during the storm, which would have been an accident because of no contact. And with that 25 coal, we'll clear out this spirit altar, which we were making more coal, but getting it done quicker is better. We'll convert it for the 2 global resolve bonus. After the storm, we get to choose a cornerstone. This one on the left might be pretty good because there's 2 giant egg nodes we can harvest from. We don't really care about stone production that much, so we'll go for a surprise child. We get some newcomers. I don't think these guys bringing us eggs counts as egg production, plus we can use these materials way more. We're about to get a ton of eggs anyways, so we'll take the guys on the right. For our next building blueprint to make fabric really efficiently, we're just going to go for the weaver. The next building after that's probably going to be the tavern. We don't really care about the lizard or the human house. If we have 3 people working it, probably during the storm we get +3 global resolve, which could be quite helpful, and then people can also drink and brawl here if that's something that we want to do later. Some new quests unlock, and since we're only level 1, we don't have access to blight rot yet, so we're forced to the quest on right, rebuild or salvage destroyed buildings, which there's 2 actually that we can rebuild right now, and we can make a pack of provisions really efficiently at our provisioner. And then finally, there's an encampment that has villagers in it that we have not welcomed yet, and so we could do this quest right now for 15 pack of provisions. We can just use that to turn the other quest in. That's going to increase our ratio from 4 of any of these food sources to 3 provisions to 4 to 4. Could actually make a profit from making those pack of provisions as well. We easily survive the next storm, and after it, I'm not sure which cornerstone we want. Ancient Pact will show us what's in a forbidden or dangerous glade, but it does kill a villager. And at this point, I don't really care what's in a glade. Like, we're just going to open whatever glades are near us. So let's go for family gratitude, even though I think it's going to be useless. And our next batch of newcomers actually brought us 2 tools, which brings our total count up to 15. And we can use those to open up this medium abandoned cache, which will give us 5 more food stockpile to upgrade at the main screen. And if we needed to, we could sell this to a trader, but we should be able to hold on to it, and we can use it for upgrades to help our future runs. We also really need the bricks right now, is mainly why I'm considering this. Otherwise, we just save the tools for something else and we do this later. Yeah, we will investigate this right now, and the flour actually will help too. We can make biscuits from it. The next trader's here, and she's got 2 perks that we want. +1 in grain production will give us double the amount of grain from harvesting these 2 large wheat fields in the glade we just opened, and that will be a ton of wheat. And this perk +2 to flour production would be really good as well for our rain mill that we haven't built yet. If my math is correct, we need 15 more amber to be able to afford both these perks. And just by selling this extra stuff, that will be enough to afford them. Pretty soon after that, we did finally get enough eggs to be able to welcome the people from the large encampment. We have the perfect amount, so I'm not sure if people are going to eat them while we're trying to do this. We don't have any complex food yet, so people are just eating the food raw. While we're welcoming these people, we can check out our perk that's giving us lizards for producing eggs. And we've got 3 lizards from this so far. We're about to get another one, and just as I refresh it, we do get another lizard from this perk, which is pretty good. It looks like we did in fact have enough eggs for this large encampment quest, and the people will be joining us in 1 minute 20 seconds. It's about actually when the storm's going to hit. The storm's about 1/4 the way done, and we have welcomed the villagers, and we're now going to rebuild this brick oven using bricks that we got from the cache earlier. And then to the very northwest, or more north than anything, we're going to salvage this kiln for 25 coal and 30 meat rather than rebuild it for a kiln that we can't move, I think. And we have the kiln blueprint, so there's no reason to rebuild it. Also to the south a little bit, we did put a hearth near this giant protofungus, so anyone that's harvesting the giant protofungus can go over to the heart to do recreation, and then they just deliver the goods back to this warehouse, which we should move this a bit closer, just to be more efficient. We'll build another one over here, and we'll destroy this one, which does refund the materials anyways. After rebuilding the oven and salvaging the kiln, we now can turn this quest in if we just get the 12 pack of provisions, which we're going to get from this quest, Lost in the Woods. So we can actually turn both these quests in, or do we want the extra lizards and lizard resolve right now? Then we can just make the pack of provisions for, it's like 8 eggs. And we can also check out this next quest. We have to open 4 caches, which is easier said than done. Opening that one did cost all of our tools, and it's not going to count towards this quest. We can make pack of trade goods actually at the lumber mill. We can make pack of building materials at our rain mill, and we'll have to make pack of crops pretty inefficiently at our makeshift post, but we do get the +1 in production. So I think we should just go for that quest, even though the reward on the right's better. There's no guarantee we're going to open 4 caches. After the storm, we get another cornerstone, and Sahilda's secret cookbook's pretty good because we can make pies at a 3-star level at the oven, and we're about to start making them right now actually. We're definitely going for that. I don't even know how to get reeds. I don't think you can get them on this biome. It's about time we open up another glade, and this event's going to be kind of rough. -12 resolve to our lizards while working it. If we give them lighter treatment right now, we can boost the resolve up to 10. And I forgot to make the tavern. If we find one more brick somewhere, we can boost the resolve by 3, so no one will leave during this event. And then our kiln, actually, we can make bricks from stone. We've been harvesting that. While we're working on all that, the next trader shows up, and he has mainly this perk for +2 grain production. If we sell him all of our fabric, a good amount of our flour, and some sea marrow and pack of provisions, and we actually don't use pack of provisions for anything, we turn in the other quest. And I'm thinking we're okay to sell the flour, because if we get more grain production, we can make more flour anyways. And at our forager camp now, we'll be getting 4 grain every time we harvest 1 from these nodes. And right now, there's still 21 charges left from this one, and this one is full still. Yeah, we can see we're getting 4 every time we harvest it, with a chance to double that to 8. And we actually did just get 8 on that one. Very nice. That human farmer is showing off for you guys. And so yeah, it should help us add our brick oven to make pretty much unlimited pies. We just need eggs and meat. And speaking of eggs and meat, in the dangerous glade we just opened, there's 3 large egg nodes, which is not only going to give us 3 times 70 eggs, we're also going to get a ton of lizards from this. We do need to set up a hearth over here though, which is going to cost a wildfire essence that we don't have. We could put it like right on the fall lizard event once we do get one. We do have enough materials for a warehouse, so let's plop this just right here. I guess we also made the jerky required for this quest, meat treats. I guess we've been making it at our kiln with meat and insects. If we want to make it more efficiently, we could choose a smokehouse as our next blueprint. I think we're going to do that. We don't care about the brickyard or the cookhouse. We've been working on the fallen lizard hunt thing for quite a while. I actually never went over us starting the thing. Before we finish, I'll just go over the reward really quick. Plus 10% movement speed and 15% wood cutting speed is really good. And we can use those 5 parts to harvest the eggs over here. Whoa, I almost just messed up there. Hostility's at 6 right now, and you can see everyone's moods are horrible. The lizards were at the reputation threshold and they were happy, but if we allow devastating storms, it's -20 to global resolve, and the eerie song can kill people if 15 seconds passes, which right now it is not. And I'll have time to go over all the woodcutter camps and take everyone off woodcutting. Taking everyone off woodcutting lowers hostility down to 4, and to keep anyone from leaving during the storm, we just sacrifice a little bit of coal, which we have plenty. And that's pretty much game over, because after the storm the humans are in a really good mood, and that allows us to start gaining reputation over time, and it's only really a matter of time before we win. And the Queen's Impatience was pretty low because we ended up completing all the quests. Here's a screenshot at the beginning of the game, and here's one after, and you can see the tree shape has not changed, so I've not done any save loading, versus after we won I did a save load and continue the settlement. And this is what the tree shape looks like when you do a save load. This was a really quick run. I think it took me like 2 hours, despite total game time saying it took me 10. We also got a bunch of achievements here, which you can look over them if you want. Nothing too crazy here. We did beat Viceroy, so we get access to a new trader on the next run. We won the game with 25 lizards. As you imagine, we had a ton of lizards at the very end. We won the game with no dead villagers on Viceroy difficulty. And this one down here is pretty cool. We won a game after discovering a Forbidden Glade before the end of year 2, because yeah, we kind of speed ran to the Forbidden Glade. Got the achievement for that. After turning in all the achievements, we're 75 XP away from level 5, so we don't quite yet have access to the Harpy race. And we have 76 food to spend in the main screen. We want this upgrade 10% more Citadel resources whenever we win. So instead of 76 food for winning that, it would have been like 85 or 90-ish. Consumption control allows us to micromanage who eats what, which can be really useful. But then most importantly, an additional blueprint choice, so we can choose from 4 buildings instead of 3. And then possibly even more importantly than that, we want an additional cornerstone choice, which I think this is new, which is going to cost us 10 food for this upgrade down here, which we don't care about that one too much. But then 12 food for the new cornerstone, and with that we're pretty much out of food.